The true cross is said to be the real cross that Jesus of Nazareth was crucified on, according to Christian tradition. It's related by numerous historical accounts and legends that Queen Helena, the mother of Roman Emperor Constantine the Great, recovered the true cross at the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem when she traveled to the Holy Land in the years 326 to 328. Flavia Julia Helena, who lived from 246 to 330 Anno Domini, also known as Helena of Constantinople and in Christianity as Saint Helena, was an Augusta of the Roman Empire and the mother of Emperor Constantine the Great. She was born in the lower classes, traditionally in the city of Drepanun, Bithynia, in Asia Minor, which was renamed Helenopolis in her honor, although several locations have been proposed for her birthplace and origin. Helena ranks as an important figure in the history of Christianity. In her final years, she made a religious tour of Syria, Palestine, and Jerusalem, during which ancient tradition claims that she discovered the true cross. The late 4th century historians Gelasius of Caesarea and Tyrannus Rufinus wrote that while she was there, she discovered the hiding place of 3 crosses that were believed to have been used at the crucifixion of Jesus and the 2 thieves, Dismas and Gestas, who were executed with him. To one cross was affixed the titles bearing Jesus' name, but according to Rufinus, Helena was unsure of its legitimacy until a miracle revealed that this was the true cross. This event is celebrated on the liturgical calendar as the Feast of the Exaltation of the Cross by the Oriental Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, Persian, Roman Catholic, Lutheran, and Anglican churches. The Roman Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodox Church, Oriental Orthodox Church, and the Church of the East claim to possess relics of the true cross as objects of veneration. As you see in the picture, the relic of the true cross being carried in procession through the Piazza San Marco, Venice, in the 15th century. In Russia, the exaltation of the life-giving true cross celebration has been observed all across the nation for centuries. At Holy Trinity Monastery, it's celebrated with extra solemnity of spiritual joy of the monastics, the seminarians and the many faithful who attend the service, conducted towards the end of the all-night vigil. As to the Russian tradition, the cross is beautifully decorated with flowers, and a large pan is filled with cut flowers, mostly from the monastery flower gardens and also basil, since according to history, when the true cross was discovered by Saint Helena in the 4th century, the air was filled with the fragrance of this herb, thus its name Basilios, or king. As is the custom, the decorated cross is transferred from the proscomedia table to the altar table at the end of small vespers with the chanting of the Troparian and the Kondakian. Toward the end of the vigil, during the singing of the great doxology, the cross is censed by the abbot of the monastery, wearing full vestments, and then aided by attending clergy, the Luke carries the cross on his head out of the altar to the royal gates, where he intones, "Wisdom, all right," and the cross is thereupon carried down to an analogion previously placed in the middle of the church. This is accompanied by a full peal or trezvon of the monastery bells, while the faithful along with the choir sing the troparian of the feast, "Save, O Lord, thy people."
Перед началом пасхального богослужения. Воскресение Твое, Христе, Христос воскресе! Христос воскресе! Христос воскресе! Христос воскресе! Христос воскресе! Христос! Силами зла! Христос воскресе! Христос воскресе!
Для меня это радость и счастье, обновление жизни. Это как Новый год для обычного человека.
In Ethiopia, Meskel grinds the country to stand still during the whole festive period. Considered a hugely important public holiday across the nation, Meskel is now on the list of the intangible cultural heritages of humanity by the United Nations Agency for Education, Science and Culture.
My name is Igbinosa Osula Aitwame. I'm from Nigeria, and this is my third time of visiting Ethiopia. And for the first time, this is the first time I'm witnessing such a colorful event, bringing a lot of people together. You can see the people so happy, so excited, to be here to celebrate their religious activities. It is indeed a very interesting festival being celebrated by the Ethiopians. And I've learned that the Ethiopians, they are very passionate about their country, about their religion. And let me tell you, Ethiopian Airlines is doing so much to promote Ethiopian as a country and Africa, the African continent in general. So I think such activities will definitely bring together a lot of people if we do more in promoting such festivals. I can see around not just Ethiopians, I can see people from Europe, I can see people from other parts of Africa and even beyond. So we can have more people come for such celebrations if we do a lot of promotion.
We had planned this trip 2 years ago, but COVID stopped it. And so when we resumed it, they suggested that we add another couple of days because we've been here now for about 35 days. And they said we have to see this festival because it's the most important festivals in Ethiopia. And I can say I've never seen anything like it in the United States. What impresses me so much is that people seem to be coming from all over the country and sharing their excitement and their belief. We have pageants and we have parades and festivals in the United States, but nothing seems to have this kind of significance.
My name is John Hunter, and I'm from New York City, and I've been in this country for 4 weeks. This is the last week, the 5th week of my trip, and we've traveled to the south, to the east, and as far north as Gondor during this trip. We've seen some incredible scenery, incredible landscapes, beautiful cities and villages and towns. And we've also visited many sites that are of interest to tourists that are heritage sites, UNESCO heritage sites. And it's very important, of course, that this country preserve those sites. The castle enclosure, for instance, in Gondor, is one of the most interesting and beautiful group of buildings that I've seen in traveling around the world, and it's very important that they be preserved.
From Las Vegas, Nevada. It's in the USA. I'm 13 years old, and I think I really like this festival. There's a lot of music, and it's just like really traditional. And I like it when it burns. I like watching the fire burn.
I am from Las Vegas on the west side of America, and I just want to say that I am really, really happy to be here. I mean, this is crazy, and I love what this means to this country, like this special holiday and the opportunity I got, and like many people don't get this, and I'm grateful for the chance to be here.
My name is Agnieszka. I'm from Poland. It's my five time in Ethiopia and second time when I celebrate the Mezcal. My 5 time in Ethiopia, so I was visit a lot of part of country. I was the north, I was the south, I was the east, I was the west. So yes, and first time when I was in Ethiopia, I celebrate Mezcal, but in Harar. It's not the same like here. Here is big festival.
What a day. What a lovely day. Mescal, the day that propagates the vibe of affection, solidarity, and freshness across the nation. Even the foreign guests who found themselves amidst the vibe witnessed it as you heard them all. Mescal is a festival that competes for top billing and is considered the most important festival for the laity and ordained alike. Tourists are usually attracted to some sort of significant event or place that adds up to their spiritual and secular ecstasy. Mescal celebration of Ethiopia displays both to them on the table, and that's why they devour it always. Sunny yellow Mescal daisies crowd the fields and the hillsides at this time of year, and in the days leading up you to see bunches of the bright flowers and fresh grass in the markets and along the roadsides. These are used to decorate both bonfires and homes for this important festival, and the children carry and exchange bunches of them on the day. The following day is officially Mescal. It's a day of eating and drinking, and of course feasting in a home that has been specially decorated to mark the start of Ethiopian spring. Let's hear it all from our foreign guests once again.
My name is Victor. I come from Moscow, from Russia, to shoot this festival. I read a lot about this. That festival is one of the best festival Orthodox in the world. That's why I come. And what I see, it's amazing that Ethiopia have something like that. I hope that in Russia we will have something different, but something biggest like this festival.
This festival is amazing. It's bigger than I could imagine. We have nothing like this, nothing this big as a religious festival in the United States. So I'm overwhelmed. It's so joyful. I feel so much love in my heart watching your people be so excited here. It's been great.
I have never been a part of such an amazing spiritual and sacred event and celebration. If you could be here with me, you can just feel so much emotion and so much beauty. When I look around, you see everybody in their traditional clothes and they're wearing it with pride and with the Ethiopian materials. It's so beautiful and colorful, and the singing is so special as well.
It's a good chance to be here today and to visit the other cities in Ethiopia. I'm happy with my friends.
I have great admiration for the Ethiopian church. It is an Oriental church, and coming from Turkey, we are very familiar to the Oriental Church in history. So first of all, this is very important for me, to be here. Secondly, this is an extraordinary festival. So colorful, so much representing the country as well.
I've come to see this because it is such an important festival for everybody in Ethiopia, and the atmosphere is unique to itself, and so never having been here before, with the opportunity to come here, was one that I couldn't miss. So this is the first celebration I've seen that is of a religious nature.
Definitely you see a lot of different pastors and churches come from different regions, and they all have their own different designs of the crosses, and they all bring together something different from their region to here, and it it brings in so much other people too, and I'm definitely excited to see for the first time the burning of the Demera.
Just the amount of people here watching and the organization, it's actually so well organized, the bands, the different churches being recognized, the different political figures. I mean, there's so much happening and yet there's so much excitement and you can tell people really want to hear what's happening.
I have never experienced something like this on this level, and I've been to many, many countries and I've never felt something so beautiful as this.
In here, this is unique. I didn't expect such a big event, festival in this country. It's impressive.
First of all, what is unique is the history of Ethiopian church, because this festival you can only see it together with the history and place of Ethiopian church in the history. So this is very important. I think this makes it unique because this ceremony as it is, you cannot see it anywhere else.
We came to tour the entire country and also learn the culture, and then this was a special gift that we got to see Mezcal.
What I will tell to all people that I will see in Turkey going back, go to Ethiopia. It is an independent African country in the history. It has this church, you know, the Ethiopian church, you know, one of the first church in the history, you know. So I will tell all my friends to come into this country. It's an amazing country.
Clearly, Ethiopia has a great deal of historical sites, a great deal of old material that people around the world are very interested in. Certainly, people back in Britain who knew I was coming here all want me to tell them about it when I go home. I think, from what I've seen, as tourist numbers increase, Ethiopia needs to think very hard about what it does in the future to protect the sites, because the sheer numbers of people wanting to come may of themselves detract from the sites that they come to see. So I'm sure that's something that Ethiopia is very aware of anyway.
Compared to other countries, I would say, well, definitely the Demera, and definitely we see all kinds of, all the different churches there having their own way of celebrating. So it definitely brings so much like diversity to the festival, I think, which is...
That's very unique in the world. I saw the many, religions and many festivals, but this is first time such a colorful, such a good people, and such a good, and they're smiling to us. That's very good.
When I look around, I think what's unique is there's so many people in one space. I can see that everyone is dressed in their traditional clothing. That's also very unique. And also, I just look around and people are old, young, it doesn't matter, everyone's together. It's beautiful.
If you've never experienced Ethiopia, that it's important to come here. There's so much history, and I think everybody should come and visit the country. It's not only the history and the culture, but the people. Everybody's here with a smile. They're also welcoming. So I recommend it, and I've been posting on Facebook and Instagram, so all of my social media, showing pictures and sharing. And I'm happy, and I hope other people can enjoy the country as much as I do.
Of such an enormous festival celebrating the finding of the true cross anywhere else. And it is certainly such an important event in Ethiopia itself.
All different kinds of people. So it's just so colorful and so much music.
I would tell other people that this Mezcal celebration, if you have the opportunity to be here in a respectful and kind way, that to take advantage of it, because you will never experience anything like this anywhere else in the world.
I thought it was a good opportunity to come to be in Addis Ababa today, so I could come and see the festival for myself.
The feast is celebrated on the 27th September, a time when the country is at its most colorful beauty following the rainy season, with flowers in full bloom and the yellow daisy-like flowers covering the hills around Addis Ababa and all over the country. The earnest celebration begins on the 26th of September, the eve of the feast, as families across the land prepare the Demera, a tall prism built from twigs meant to resemble the burning fire tree that guided Elena to the cross. Once this is prepared, a cross made from demera flowers is placed upon the pile, and the families return home in anticipation of the start of celebrations. As morning approaches, communities across the land attend a liturgy held within local churches. Those living in Ethiopia's capital predominantly head to Meskel Square and to home and to some near venues designated for the celebration. As the square slowly begins to fill out, large groups of brightly colored umbrellas appear over the horizon, embellished in gold details and interwoven patterns. Once the square is full, priests lead the celebrations, and the cheers erupt throughout the semicircular stadium as mass comes to an end. By late afternoon, families gather around their own demera, singing traditional folk songs and hymns. As darkness sets in, the demera is set ablaze and the dancing intensifies around the flames that rise higher and higher, sending plumes of smoke up into the deep, black midnight sky. When the demera smolders and burns down, families often collect the ashes left and mark themselves with a cross, symbolizing their devotion to the Most High. Meskel is marked with feasting, dancing, and lively religious processions. The cone-shaped bonfire is set ablaze by the procession of priests, believers, religious and political leaders. People toss flaming torches and sing special Meskel songs as they circle the demera. Little demeras are built around individual homes as well. One of the significant occurrences of the festival is the coinciding with the mass blooming of Meskel flowers, the golden yellow daisies. Ethiopia as a nation and Addis Ababa as a capital city celebrate this great festivity with veneration. It's a religious tradition that has been kept starting from the 4th century, as was depicted in this production earlier. The usual demera procession and the religious aspects are being honored at the Meskel Square of Addis Ababa and other cities as well as places that host the commemoration across the country. The actual Meskel of the Ethiopian year 2017 is just celebrated September 27 as the finding day of the true Holy Cross. And for the solemn and the successful celebration of the festivity, the city administration of Addis Ababa has been playing its role since the time the vibe is being felt. Meskel, the finding of the true Holy Cross of Christ, was inscribed in 2013 on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritages of humanity, as was described earlier. In Addis Ababa, celebrations begin with the building of the demera bonfire at Meskel Square, a conical pyre of poles surrounded by bundles of branches and torches, decorated with green grass and Abyssinian daisies symbolizing the new year. Hundreds of thousands of people from diverse communities flock to the square as colorfully dressed priests chant hymns and prayers and perform their unique rhythmic dance in front of the pyre. Meskel is celebrated nationwide regardless of age, gender, language or ethnicity. Participants are believed to receive spiritual rewards from the celebration and blessings from the Holy Cross. Local churches play a key role in coordinating communities and safeguarding the element. The festival is also a time when families get together and migrant workers return home, reunions that result in the flow of money, information, and new ideas from urban centers to rural areas. Prior to the celebration, personal quarrels and social disagreements must be resolved. In this way, Meskel is an occasion for Ethiopians to promote their spiritual life through reconciliation, social cohesion, and peaceful coexistence.
ሰይጣንን ሊያደርጋ ሰይጣንን ይመታ መስቀሉ ስለ ክርስቶስ ብርሃን ክርስቶስ ብርሃን ኢትዮጵያ